Hi and welcome to another Capgemini Invent Talks video. Today we will be talking about e-government. So Niels, that must be about slow bureaucracies, red tape and lengthy procedures, right?
Indeed. Well, of course it's more about reducing red tape and using the potential of technology to make sure that we can create user-centric services that actually reduce the admin burden for citizens. And that's why it's so interesting, because for me e-government is really about, it affects everyone. It affects everyone from parking permits to starting your business, from employment services to studying, and everyone is involved. But it's different than online shopping because you cannot select your government of choice. And so the key question is, how are governments creating those e-gov services? How can they build trusted and secure digital relationships with their citizens and businesses? And in our work for the European Commission, the e-government benchmark, we actually monitor how governments are performing in 36 countries. And that, for me, is very interesting. It's a challenge to keep a method up to date with the speed that the technology is advancing, and to make sure that we can deliver insights that help policymakers make better decisions, and in the end, then improve it for citizens and businesses. I already mentioned the reports, and maybe you've been involved in this project for 2 years. Yes. We released the latest report a couple of weeks ago. What are the main insights?
Yeah, so I think one of the main conclusions is that the top performing countries, so the quick hair, so to say, and those ones lagging a bit more behind, the slower tortoises, are actually performing more similarly. So actually the gap between those is decreasing and is being bridged. In particular, we see that more and more services are becoming available online, also via mobile devices, really making sure that people can obtain governmental services anytime, anywhere they like. One of the more challenging things comes down to personal data and monitoring your own personal data. Let's say you want to check when your personal data has been used for certain services, or for instance, for what purpose. That's a bit more challenging for governments to provide insight into that. On a more positive note, we see that progress is being made delivering services for not just only national citizens, but also serving citizens from other European countries. And I think that's also a good thing, making sure that people can really live abroad, but also study abroad and work abroad.
Exactly, that's the European digital single market, right? That we aim for.
Yes.
And so this gives an interesting insight into the current state of play. But of course, technology is advancing with speed of light. What will be in our next report? What are the new things that are coming up?
Yeah, so let's first of all think, for instance, about Google Home and Alexa. I think it would be great if you could just request a new driver's license by saying, "Hey Alexa, could you request one?" You take a picture with your mobile device, which is scanned via visual recognition software, and you're basically good to go. Another example would be tax forms. Many countries already pre-fill forms to make it a bit more convenient for people to fill in and declare their taxes. But the next step would be to have virtual tax agents, which help you to fill in the form correctly, but also make sure that you're aware of certain tax benefits based on your personal circumstances.
I would love that, actually, because it's always a hassle to get it done every year. Technology offers great opportunities there. On the same side, I think if the government is using and reusing more and more data, it's also important that we keep the government, let's say, accountable, and that we give transparency to citizens and businesses using those services, that they know what data the government holds about them, where it's stored, who uses it, and for what purpose. So in that area, I think it's important to keep that balance. And similarly, citizens should be able to trust the government websites that they actually visit. We've done a pilot this year. It looks that, like in the Netherlands, it's going really well in the right direction, but we've seen across Europe that there is still some opportunity to improve. And of course, a citizen should be able to trust a website that he visits. So in that sense, accountability and trust in security is a really important element as well, in my view. But I'm looking forward to all these new developments. Yeah. I'm looking forward already now to the next report. Thank you very much for this conversation.
Yeah, thanks.